In 2021, Mortal Kombat unfortunately was forced to come out on streaming because of the pandemic on HBO Max. And this gave an opportunity for a lot of people to see at home, what is this movie all about? And unfortunately, it was received terribly. And that could be just because, sometimes it's better to see things on the big screen just because it gives the cinematic experience. So maybe that was already a shot in the foot. And there was no tournament. Where is the tournament in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of issues with the first one. And then we heard that there's going to be a second one. And we're like, okay, could this be a redeemer of this franchise that deserves a good movie? We had the Scorpion and Sub-Zero scenes, which were chef's kiss, one of the best, but that was like the first 9 minutes. And then it was like some guy with like hard skin that is not even part of the franchise. So complete miss. But they just dropped a second trailer for Mortal Kombat after delaying the movie to May. And maybe, just maybe, we got a banger on our hands. This comes to us from IGN. They say, IGN just debuted the newest trailer for Mortal Kombat 2, which hits theaters on May 8, 2026. Like the first, this trailer focuses heavily on... like the first trailer. I'm like, not the first movie. On Carl Urban's Johnny Cage, one of the new combatants, nice, ING, joining the fight in the sequel. All signs point to Johnny being the de facto main character this time around, and we think that's a very good sign for the movie. Let's break down a little bit about where 2021's Mortal Kombat went astray before we get into the highlights of the trailer that you and I watched, Zach, and maybe how we can course correct those hiccups. Big hiccups. Oh, I also, speaking of hiccup, watched the live action How to Train Your Dragon finally, and it was fantastic. Sorry, I had to. I watched too much things, bro. How do I have time? All right, so as we said, 2021's Mortal Kombat did not quite work out the way that they had hoped. 1995's Mortal Kombat still stands as just like a cult classic live action video game movie. Not the best, but definitely one of the best soundtracks, I would say.
Really fun.
And
it's stupid, but it's fun.
Stupid fun. It's stupid fun. It's nothing but, if not campy, silly martial arts romp, as IGN puts it. It's got multicolored ninjas that could be taken the wrong way, a rubber that could be taken the wrong way, 4-arm mini boss monsters that could also be taken the wrong way, and Christopher Lambert hamming it up as a god of thunder. It's got a mid-90s techno industrial mashup soundtrack which rocked, but it knew kind of exactly what it wanted to be. And then we get to the 2021 reboot. And on paper, the reboot had a lot going for it. It had a much better, special effects and production than its predecessor. It also took a fairly novel approach to the script, focusing on the interdimensional martial arts tournament, but on the eternal rivalry between Hiroyuki Sanada's Scorpion and Joe Taslim's Sub-Zero, which I hope I probably butchered those names, so I'm sorry. And, in a perfect world, the reboot could have been a great showcase for how far the video game genre has come since 1995.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, in execution, that was not the case. It usually focused on Louis Tan's Cole Young, who was a made-up character for the movie. There was nothing to endear about the character to the audience. Like the whole movie suffered as a result because it didn't really have any attachment to the original IP, which was an interesting choice. And so there was just a lot of issues. And it took 5 years, but Warner Brothers maybe has cracked the code on Mortal Kombat from what we've seen in this recent trailer that came out this past week. Mortal Kombat 2 is again directed by Simon McQuaid. Through this time, the script is written by Jeremy Slater. Much of the cast from the original film are returning, such as Sonata Scorpion, Jessica McNamie's Sonya Blade, Mikaud Brooks's Jax, Ludi Lin's Liu Kang. But there are plenty of new additions as well. We got Damon Harriman's Quan Chi, Martin Ford's Shao Kahn, and C.G. Bloomfeld's Baraka. But easily the most significant newcomer, nice, newcomer, is our boy Carl Urban's Johnny Cage. I feel like I've just talked way too much. I want to pick your brain on the trailer. Now that we're getting closer to the May release, we got a real trailer that focuses heavily on our main character, Johnny Cage, seeing the outworld. I think that's what it's called, through his eyes. And so it seems like we might have a banger. And from this picture, we're getting straight rip from the tournament scenes. So we're getting tournament heavy fights, which is what we've been foaming out the mouth for. What did you think of this trailer? And what do you think are the chances that it lives up to the potential that it laid out for us?
I think the trailer was very solid because what video game movies have been doing recently that's been successful is not doing one-to-one adaptations, but capturing the essence and the heart of what the video games are and dropping those Easter eggs so the fans will love it. Kind of what the MCU did when it first started, right? Not doing one-to-one of each comic, but capturing the heart and making the comic book fans get really excited, and then the casual fans want to go watch it because the comic book fans are excited. And I think video game movies are doing a good job of that. I think what the problem was with the first one, even though I didn't see it, but based on the description you just said, they tried to create a character that was supposed to be like kind of a vessel for the audience. Oh my God, look at all this. But then kind of created a trash protagonist to do that with. Instead of dragging someone from the game to do that, they made somebody up. It looked, from this trailer, it looks like we're taking one of the most famous characters from the game and doing the same thing again. Because based on the trailer, it looks like Johnny Cage had no idea about any of this. So he's going to be the avatar for us. He's going to be played by a beloved actor. He's going to have all the uniqueness of someone that's really charismatic, that asshole that you love to root for.
Right.
And it's just going to get everybody, including casual audiences that don't know anything about Mortal Kombat, right into it. And I like how colorful it is. I like how it focuses on the characters and not really the story itself, because of these type of movies, that's who you need to sell it on. I think Street Fighter did a really good job of that. And I think this trailer is doing a really good job of that. And I'm really excited to see how they pull it off. Am I super confident that it will live up to the hype? I'm not sure of Jeremy Slater's track record in terms of writing. I'm not familiar with him, but I didn't think I heard bad things about the direction of the fights in the first one. It was more that the story wasn't good. So if the same director's coming over, he has the great fights. If Jeremy Slater's a better writer than the last guy and they uphold the heart of what Mortal Kombat is, this can be a banger.
You know, I really want this to be good. I mean, this is a beloved, 90s franchise that we grew up with, and it deserves a movie that is of the status and the height of those video games. And I think, from what we're seeing from Shao Kahn, who looks badass as all heck, and also the population in Outworld, we see him kind of Thanosing it up a little bit by torturing people in their hometown and taking over, different towns and worlds and cities, and under his rule and his thumb. And it shows us a lot more of this world building that we were hoping we would get a lot from in the first one, but it just didn't quite land because we were focused on someone that has nothing to do with that world. And so to really bring it back to Outworld and see the people that live there, the princess and the king and the emperor, and really dive into what this world's all about, why there is a tournament, what this tournament means for the realms of man, and all this stuff. It makes it have heart, and it makes it have meaning. And that is what you want that we necessarily didn't get from the first Mortal Kombat. And so that is something that really makes me excited. I would
Tournament
say,
arcs work, man. Tournament arc revitalized Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Super was a tournament arc, and they got people back into it. Anime uses tournament arcs all the time, and Mortal Kombat literally has that built in. I don't know why they strayed away from it in the beginning.
Breaking news. Zendaya and Tom Holland are married.
Oh, you scared me.
MJ and Spider-Man are married. We'll talk about that when we talk about some Marvel stuff. I just like my wife just texted me. I'm like, I love that couple.
I thought they got married a while ago, though.
You know, they probably did it secretly, but they got engaged a while ago secretly, and I think they announced it finally. Is what happened.
Gotcha.
Is maybe what she's getting at. You know, she ain't reporting the news like us, so she ain't like us. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I want to have hope. I want to believe. My little X-Files. You know, I want to believe. And so from this trailer, great trailer. It did exactly what it's supposed to do. It takes your excitement and it bumps it up a notch. Or it takes no excitement that you had and gave you a little bit to hope for. And so I really hope that we get the Mortal Kombat that this IP deserves. Let us know what you guys think. Did you like the second trailer, and did it make you more excited? Do you think that they learned their lessons from the first one and they will finally deliver a true Mortal Kombat movie for the sequel? Drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts.
Evan, I have a question for you. I just started this.
Yes.
With so many movies this year being old franchises, do you think they might eat each other's milkshake? Masters of the Universe, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, they're all going kind of for this hokey, old school feel with modern technology, similar protagonists and similar villains in same vein. And I believe they're all coming around like that June, July, August situation, trying to go for that summer movie feel. Yeah. Do you feel like there's a possibility that because whatever comes out first and is successful might make it harder for the other two?
You know, this has always been a topic of discussion, right? Like, you know, does this one eat the other one because they're so similar that it divides audiences? And that is definitely something that we've seen in the past. Something that we've also seen in the past is that it actually heightens people's excitement when they're good. That is the difference, because when something is good and you see something else similar coming out, the hype is now building up because you are in the mood of good, you know, adaptation movies like this in this kind of genre. So I think it is a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? We've seen it happen recently last year where, you know, we had Thunderbolts and then we had Fantastic Four, and Thunderbolts had mixed reactions. Not from us, obviously, but from general audiences, and a lot didn't go to the theater. And then Fantastic Four came out, a lot didn't go to the theater, and it had mixed reactions. So it's really this thing where it's like it could hurt or help your movie. And so really with Mortal Kombat being the first one up, if you will, the other movies that you mentioned could really benefit from this movie doing well. They should hope that Mortal Kombat does well, so by the time it gets to them in the summer, people are juiced on these kind of,
especially Street Fighter
adaptations, and honestly, they are storied, historic IPs that haven't gotten a great adaptation. All three of them: Mortal Kombat, Masters of the Universe, and Street Fighter. All, you know, some people love them, but generally all kind of crappy, not living up to the height of what people would want from those specific IP. So you're right. They all are in very similar boats, and they all can help each other, or hurt each other.
Yeah, I
What do you
agree.
think?
I definitely agree. I think even more Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, because they're tied. Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, they're all kind of
Oh, I
tied
want a
together in the
Tekken so
era
bad.
of fighting games. Even Soul Calibur, like if you were
Yep.
like if Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter does good, I can see a Tekken and a Soul Calibur movie being greenlit
Oh,
because
100%.
and then I can see Nintendo going, maybe we should make a Smash Brothers movie. I can see those wheels turning if these movies
Yeah.
do well. But if Mortal Kombat comes out and it gets similar reaction to Mortal Kombat 1, then I
And it's
fear for
cooked.
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Street Fighter's cooked. You got to know what movie you are. Like that is, and that's what I should have said in our Mortal Kombat segment. I guess I'll clip it after this. But I feel like the first one did not know what kind of movie it wanted to be. You had like some comedy in it, but it just came from Kano, the one with the red eye.
Yeah.
But then everything else was trying to be like more serious and more grounded. And it just felt like a mess, and it felt like it didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. The sequel for Mortal Kombat feels like it finally knows what it wants to be. It wants to be funny, campy, badass action scenes, fun, on a ride, found family. And that is more in the vein of what you would want from this franchise. And so my hope is that these movies that you're mentioning know what kind of movie that they want to be.